You think people are really gonna watch this?
They ain't got nothing else to do.
Right?
Word.
I ain't going on social media talking shit about TDS radio. I know that much.
My man, Coach Block.
What's up, cuz? How we living?
You're rocking with TDS Radio.
Get it, Kim. All right. She got a vision, and she wants us to execute this vision.
Ooh, man. That's what TDS is about today.
Ken and Kim are the two dopest siblings that I know.
All right, man. You ready?
Am I ready? Are they ready?
Nigga. Hey y'all, hey, it's your girl So Fab, and it is Healing Wednesdays. We got no other than our Auntie V
Yes, thank you, dear.
in
Thank you,
the
dear.
building.
In the building.
Yes, honey. Yes. How you doing today, Auntie V?
I'm good. You see what I got on, honey. I'm coming straight from work, y'all.
Straight from work.
Because I'm dedicated to y'all. Dedicated to the cause,
Hello.
honey. And good evening. I'm here. I'm
That's my
dedicated
girl.
to the cause,
That's
honey.
my girl, honey.
We are here.
Goodness. Hey, fam, how you doing? You doing all right? Hey, X. Goodness. How y'all, everybody doing all right? Let us know. Drop it in the
Yes.
comments. Let us know how you're feeling. What's on your mind? What's on your heart? What's on your spirit?
Mm-hmm.
Because we're going to talk about a couple of things
Yes,
today.
we are. Yeah, we are.
Because like the title of the show says, sometimes healing can be messy.
Very, very messy.
So
Very, very,
got
very.
a couple questions to ask you on TV, and then you also have some news to drop on us as well. And then for those of you who don't know, there's a lot going on this month. May is National Mental Health Awareness Month, and it's also National Arthritis Awareness Month. So it's a twofold here on how the products can work efficiently and effectively for your everyday. And we're going to touch a little bit on the whole mental aspect of it and just the whole day to day and what people are dealing with. And then we also have the messy letter. So we always have to add something messy into the game. Goodness, but
well, because today feels a little messy.
hello,
Yeah,
you
honey.
know,
Yes.
good. I don't know what it is, but
It's feeling a little messy.
Did anybody have to go off on their coworkers this week, or is it just me?
You
want
no,
to?
it ain't just you.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
No. Sometimes people need remedial training.
They
Sometimes they do. Sometimes people need remedial training. This is all part of your wellness.
Yes.
Keeping your
Yes.
peace.
Hello.
Don't let nobody keep your peace.
You
Don't let
know.
nobody take your peace, honey.
Hello.
That's what this is. And good evening.
Because that was one thing I had to get my drops and had to do
Yes.
some deep breathing because I was like, y'all not going to get me out of character today.
No.
It was a good weekend. We had a 3-day weekend, had a good time. So what you're not going to do is take me off of my high horse right now.
No, you are not. No.
We don't
Because
have
if you
time for
make
it.
me go down to your level, then, I'll go down there, slap
Hello?
you around a little bit.
Hello.
But then, I'm going to be done. I'm going to be done.
And then you probably won't like
And
me.
I'll move on.
Hello.
Well, you won't like me. It'll be painful.
Exactly.
It'll hurt.
It'll hurt.
Hurt.
Ooh, child, it'll hurt.
But I'll be
Goodness.
all right.
And
Yeah.
will be.
Uh-huh.
I don't know about you, but I don't care.
Yeah, you know what I say? I'll do it till I feel better.
I know.
So, and that's part of, because sometimes it's not you.
It's not.
Sometimes it's not you. Sometimes every now and again, to keep your peace, you got to interrupt somebody else.
Thank you.
Because they're moving into your lane.
Exactly. Boundaries. That
Yeah,
line in the
yeah,
sand.
they're moving into your lane.
And it's funny because of course we talked about it on the show, but sometimes people think that it's okay for them to just like disrespect your boundaries or not take them into consideration. So then when you react, it's like, well, what you got going on? You never should have been over here.
Yeah, I have absolutely nothing going on. I'm absolutely fine. It's you. It's you that needs some remedial training. Because
Exactly.
Perhaps it could be my fault because perhaps I have not made my boundaries
Right.
clear.
Right.
So that's okay.
Exactly. But I'm gonna make them clear now.
Because now we're going to define them and maybe redefine them for you.
Hello.
Yes. So it's okay.
Exactly.
No, you're here to help them.
That's
help
all.
me help you.
That's all.
Yeah.
That's all.
So no. Mm-mm. No.
So
No.
you got some news on TV. Lay it on us. What's going on?
Okay. Well, we're talking about. Okay, so here was the deal: is that I had a customer
Mm-hmm.
who had purchased the Delta 8
Mm-hmm.
and absolutely loved them. Came back and purchased more. But here's the thing: is they said, hey, he said, they were like, it really worked really well.
Mm-hmm.
I felt the lapels. And I go, what in the world? I said, tell me more.
Right.
So they explained the whole situation. And what they did is that, I always suggest that you take half, a quarter to a half. That's
Absolutely.
what I always suggest.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess he felt like they were Flintstone gummies. And so
And
when
went
one
crazy.
didn't work,
Mm-hmm.
he ended up taking more than 2, more than
What?
3. Yeah, more than 4. So here's the
What the hell
thing.
do you think this was? Tic Tacs?
I think so. Because he was, but this ain't working. This ain't working.
And you jumped from 1 to 15? Like, what?
And so, yes, and that was upon further investigation. So here's the thing. Now, as we have always said, the products have less than 0.2% for THC,
Mm-hmm.
which is naturally occurring in the hemp plant.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Y'all cannot go around eating like a whole pack of freaking
Crazy. Insane.
because it doesn't work that way.
Right.
They felt absolutely wonderful.
Wow.
Not high.
Yeah.
But he was like, okay. I'm feeling like I'm good. I could go to sleep.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm good. Slept like a baby.
You should.
Hey, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is why he should. So, which made me come and I thought about it because as I said, we make suggestions.
Mm-hmm.
Because as we know, no one can prescribe
Right.
THC.
Mm-hmm.
So we make suggestions. When you eat that many of them,
Mm-hmm.
okay, y'all, you may feel, now don't get me wrong, it depends on your weight.
Right.
It depends on the absorption in the fat
Mhm.
molecules. It's a lot of factors.
Yes.
But if you overindulge like
Mhm.
that, it's possible.
You can feel something.
Yeah, absolutely. It's
Mhm.
possible you can feel
Mhm.
something.
Mhm.
That was the first person that came, has come and said, "Oh yeah, love them, girlfriend." Because I ate. It was like, yeah, that first hour, nothing. I was feeling good with nothing, and then continue to eat them.
Mhm.
Okay, so it's not but you cannot eat. I feel like I'm doing
A PSA.
a
Yes,
PSA.
ma'am. Uh-huh.
You cannot do that,
Mhm.
y'all. Okay, I guarantee you, in little amounts
Mhm.
go a long way.
Yeah, absolutely.
A quarter of the Delta 8 will give you exactly 1.1 milligram, 1.5 milligrams,
Mm-hmm.
micrograms actually, of THC. Only because it's naturally occurring in the plant.
Right.
It's not additive.
Mhm.
It's not. It's just the naturally occurring.
Mhm.
Because there's more than one cannabinoid.
Mm-hmm.
There's CBD, there's CBD, there's THC, there's CBC, there's CB. I mean, there's a lot of CBs.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay. Overindulging like that, because they're not Tic Tacs.
Right.
I feel like I have to say that.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do that, y'all.
Right.
Please don't.
And
Now-
then, like you said, for some of the gummies, sometimes it takes a moment, especially considering if you
Yeah.
do or don't have food on
Yes.
your stomach.
Yes. And if you're, like I said, if you're doing that and you're trying to do that every day,
Mm-hmm.
y'all, yes. When you're doing that many milligrams of hemp, CBD hemp
Mhm.
products, yeah, it's conceivable that it can happen.
Mm. Mm.
Like I said, that's not what I suggest.
Right. I was going to say that's not what we want.
No, it's not. It's not. It's not what we want. But that person brought up an interesting conversation because our suggestion is exactly that.
Right.
But he felt fine. He loved it. Bought more.
Jason, they not cheap to be doing that.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
and that was going to be my question to him. And I don't know if you were able to talk to him in depth of just what were you looking for from this? Because like you said, this is not a high experience. This is a relaxation experience.
Well,
you know,
he felt incredibly relaxed.
I'm sure he did.
But my thought is he probably, I'm not gonna say he was high because he wasn't that. He said he wasn't that. But he felt good, really good.
I'm sure he did. Yeah.
So I would think that because of the intake, it would be more than 0.2% of THC.
Absolutely.
And that's the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You can't do that, y'all.
No, you can't do that, and that's not.
Well,
what
you
they're designed-
can.
I mean, yeah,
but
that's not what it's designed for.
Yeah, but that's a really strong possibility that if you're a working person, you're doing that kind of overindulging, and you do that an extended amount of time, and I would honestly say if you're going to do something like that 3 to 5 days, if you did that 3 to 5 days in a row, you would probably test greater than 0.2% of THC.
But you have said that, on the show before. You're like, if you take it in an excessive amount, then yes, something is going to show.
Well, yeah, I've always said that.
Yeah.
That there's always that chance. And of course, I had to do a deep dive because I'm like, wait a minute, dude. What exactly, like I said, we always said we're not going to overindulge. But y'all, because I'm a little bit of a policy wonk. In that. So that caused me to think to myself, okay, if someone else is actually doing that kind of indulging, no one that I know of, but with gummies, if you do that kind of overindulging, or in North Carolina, I'm not talking to my other Heelys that are other places, but North Carolina, there are some bills in the House and the Senate.
Ma'am.
And I wanted to give you the actual bill numbers. Let's see, the Senate bill is like 607. And so you can look them up yourself. And the House bill is, I believe, 267, I believe. I'm going to look that up. And they are cracking down on work. Okay. The Senate bill is 265. I'm sorry. Protecting Our Communities Act. And they are coming up, y'all, with some equipment that is going to be incredibly sensitive. Do you remember we talked about the fact that one workplace about calibration and about not all calibrations are the same?
Right.
So you can work over here and that calibration can be different than if you work over here. Well, they are going behind the scenes and they are trying to calibrate them all at a certain calibration, which is going to be 0.3% THC. Well, actually, it's going to be 0.31 because it's legally 0.3.
Okay.
So they can't do that because it's naturally occurring. So they can't do that. But they are going to. Well, there's companies out there that are making calibrated machines that will detect 0.31.
Are these in effect now, or is it to come shortly?
Well, it's kind of like our current administration. It's kind of like, I said it, so it needs to happen, kind of thing. So I'm going to say that, yeah, they're out there.
Okay.
And they're doing it. Now, some of the other things that they want, the healing consultant already does.
Right.
They want QR codes on everything you sell. Fine. They want certificate of analysis. We already doing that.
But a lot of these companies are not.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
And they're trying to regulate that. But I thought that, like I said, this customer kind of brought up those things.
Mhm.
And these are actually current bills in the House and the Senate.
Mhm.
And they're trying a third-party testing,
Mhm.
which is what we have, y'all,
Mhm.
because we own it.
I know that's right.
We own it because I knew this was coming.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
I knew this was coming.
Yeah.
So those regulations, honey, we're on it. It's fine. My shit is pure, so
And
I don't have a problem with that.
even more of a reason to use your stuff because
absolutely.
like we've realized, especially with being at the Mind, Body, and Spirit conference, I'm not going to throw anybody under the bus,
No.
but there are a lot of companies out here who are pushing CBD and Delta 8 and they don't have the QR code.
No.
And they don't have the certificate of analysis.
No,
There's no third-party testing whatsoever.
They do not.
So you have no idea what you're ingesting. And you may just be going into it, just thinking like, oh, well, it's just CBD. I'll be fine.
Mhm.
You ingest it. Next thing you know, surprise testing. And then boom, you're out of a job.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Because, and that's what, and that's what they're trying to do. That's what they're trying to, they're trying to regulate it. Don't get me wrong. It is a huge industry. I doubt very seriously.
Mm-hmm.
But they can do it in the state.
Mm-hmm.
They can do it in the state. So I just wanted everyone to be aware of that.
Yes.
Occasional use,
yes.
you're fine.
Mm-hmm.
You're fine. But if you're going to eat them like Tic Tacs.
Hello?
Yeah.
Because I think Homeboy was going through something. Maybe therapy.
Well, I don't know, but he bought more.
So good job.
I don't know. I mean, we had the conversation, it was very interesting. I was like, okay, all right. So, let's talk a little bit more about what's going on.
Yes.
But that was a consultation, which he was, very happy to do because y'all, I do have consultations.
Absolutely.
They're consultations, so that we can go over how you can maneuver in the workplace, how you can maneuver my products in the workplace, because I don't advocate for excessive amounts of any of it.
Right.
Mine is basically microdosing.
And then let me ask you this, because I know sometimes people get concerned when it comes to traveling, whether it is from state to state or even internationally. Is it safe to travel with your products?
Internationally?
Mm-hmm.
Depends on the country you're going to.
Okay.
I'll be honest.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I'll be honest. Depends on the country you're going to. CBD is different than cannabis, marijuana, high doses of THC. Because remember, dogs are sniffing for THC.
Right.
It smelled hemp is not something because that's what they're detecting. That's what they're detecting. Because have I traveled with mine out of the country? Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, I have. Absolutely.
I was like, I have
because
too.
it's trace amounts of THC.
Yeah.
So that's not a thing that they're gonna.
Yeah. And I'm like, even within the states, I travel with. Your stuff,
do. I travel.
you know?
Yeah. I travel with mine. I said mine's been out of the country.
I know that's right.
Yeah. Absolutely. And it's always interesting because I do travel out of the country, and it's like people are. I mean, you can just smell it everywhere. You can literally smell them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's another thing too. Vaping.
And
they're really cracking down on that stuff.
as they should.
Yeah.
I mean, because
I don't advocate for it.
Yeah, you don't advocate for it. And
No.
we've talked about it on the show before of
No.
just like people don't actually know what it is that they are ingesting.
Uh-huh.
There's no ingredients, there's no
Mhm.
labeling, there's nothing. And you're just going gung-ho with it.
Yes.
And it could be anything.
Yes.
Literally anything.
It could be literally anything.
Yeah.
And so I just want to put it out there for everyone because I vouch for my product,
Hello?
but not everyone's using not everyone's using, the healing consultant products, which you should be.
Hello?
I don't know what's going on there, but okay. But you should be. But that's, that's new stuff that's coming, it's coming and honestly is really kind of being enacted
Right.
kind of behind the scenes anyway,
Mm-hmm.
because we're talking about industries.
Yes.
But I tell you one company that has gotten rid of their testing policy.
Who?
Amazon.
Yeah. I could see why they did that.
Amazon.
Yeah. I can
It's several other big companies, but Amazon sticks out because they're the biggest.
I Have my reasoning for why they did that.
Oh, yeah,
that's
I have a
that's
couple of
show-
reasons.
Yeah, that's a show for another day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they need a workforce.
Hello. Saying it without being said. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They need a
And
workforce.
especially if you're listening to the conversations that Coach has had
Uh-huh.
about some of his students
Yeah.
and the cadence,
Mhm.
and the fact that, some of them barely made it,
Oh, yeah.
but their goals and aspirations are to go to Amazon. I can see why Amazon did what they did. I'll just say that.
Yes.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So, technically, if you work at Amazon here in North Carolina,
you good to go.
do you.
Do
Do
you. Do you, but don't use your product irresponsibly.
No.
Because that's like you said,
No.
that's not what it's
Because
designed
that's
for.
really what that was. Is
Mhm.
using my products irresponsibly.
Yeah. That's not what it's designed for.
It is not. It is not. But he did brought up an interesting, topic, a conversation.
Absolutely.
Like I said, which led me to go into a deep dive. Going, wait a
Mhm.
minute, what exactly is, what's going to be our policy in our
Mhm.
state?
Mhm.
What's going to happen in our state?
And
Which
I'm
is even more important. You do the suggested.
yes. And I'm
recommended.
glad you're bringing this up because oftentimes these things aren't, in the forefront. They're not being talked about.
No.
So for someone who may be doing and dabbling, however you want to, describe it,
Yeah, whatever you want to do.
they can be blindsided, because they haven't been informed or they haven't done the
Yes.
proper research because you're
Yes.
using something that you probably should stay up on so you can
You
be
should.
aware. You're blindsided and now you're out of a job because they don't have to put that in the forefront or they know how
No.
to put it in a way where it's like, well, we kind of hinted at it,
Yeah.
but it wasn't blaring.
Yes. And that's what they hope to catch you on.
Yes. Yes.
That's what they hope to get you on.
Mhm.
And I feel that it's a PSA moment. I feel we have to. I feel
Absolutely.
I have to do that.
Mhm.
I have to say it
Mhm.
because most people aren't saying it.
Right.
I don't know if anybody is saying it.
Right. So if
Mm.
someone is watching from another state, which we do, we have people
Yeah.
from, various places, mainly, Pennsylvania and
yeah.
Texas, things like that.
See,
What would you suggest them
different.
to do or
Mhm.
where to go to find out about, the testing and the limit?
in their
and-
state?
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. Well, it's really pretty easy. You can go to your congressional legislature.
Mhm.
And you can just type in any House or Senate bills that are covering cannabis
Mhm.
or your CBD laws. Most because everyone has some form because of the Farm Act,
Right.
the 2018 Farm Act.
Mhm.
So hemp, CBD and hemp that's covered.
Mhm.
And that's also the loophole.
Mhm.
So it's covered.
Mhm.
It's just you have to find out what your state is as far as marijuana is
Okay.
concerned. That's the biggie.
Okay.
And if they have recreation, you can find that out. Like I said, going to your state
Mhm.
House or Senate
Okay.
rules. Yeah,
Well, there
and
you
you can
go.
look it up. Just like I looked up
Mhm.
mine. I looked it up, read it because it's for public knowledge.
Mhm.
What pre-existing disease processes are coming down the road
Mhm.
that they're going to cover, which won't matter at all.
Right.
Because it doesn't matter to people like most of the people who watch that are occasional or that they're just kind of doing something to get to sleep.
Mhm.
It's not a big deal for them,
Mhm.
to be honest. It's not a big deal for them, which is good.
Right.
Because like I said, the healing consultant has followed all the rules, and because I still have to send my stuff in.
Yes.
I have to send my certificate of analysis in
Yeah.
to verify that
Mhm.
my THC, that the naturally occurring THC
Mhm.
in the plant is less than
Mhm.
0.3%.
Mhm.
So I've always done that because I feel responsible for
Right,
that,
yeah,
for
exactly.
what goes on
Yeah.
with the people who consume my product.
Yeah. And you're asking people to trust you, so
Yeah,
you want to be
absolutely.
responsible about it.
Yes,
You know.
that is exactly why I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, I've got to say this,
Yeah.
y'all, because I don't know if anybody else is saying it because, doing it in excess like that.
Number one.
I don't know. I don't
crazy.
know what he would have
Yeah.
tested. To be
Yeah.
honest, I suspect it probably would have been more than 0.3%,
Mm-hmm.
because that's an awful lot in a very small
lot.
time.
A lot.
It's an awful lot in a small amount of time.
Yes.
It's not like it's being spaced out.
Right.
It's like in one day.
Right. Yeah.
So,
Dude, you was going get your life
that's
together.
not even in
Yeah.
24 hours.
You were going through something. Get your life together, baby, because that was
Yeah.
crazy. So we don't suggest that.
No,
and then, of
I've
course,
never suggested that.
If you have any questions, comments, in regarding to Auntie V's products, you can always schedule a consultation.
Absolutely.
Email her, of course, during Healing Wednesday. You
Yes.
can. This is an open
Oh my
forum.
God, yes.
Ask your questions here.
Call.
But we do not suggest you use the product excessively like that.
But I had to do a PSA on that.
Mhm.
I'm like, little baby dude, what are you doing?
Yes, little baby dude.
Little baby dude, what are you doing?
Because what? We're not doing
You
that.
causing me to do to do some consulting here. What we doing here?
You were going through something, baby, and maybe therapy should have been the solution, and
absolutely.
not.
And I suggested that
Yeah,
too.
because something's going on.
Because it's meant, and don't you know what? I think sometimes this is a reaction to things that are going on,
Mm-hmm.
In our world.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a real thing.
It is.
It is a real thing. And sales have actually been going up in this industry.
Absolutely.
Because of what's going on.
Absolutely.
Because people are trying to address their mental health, honey.
And they're just trying to figure it out.
They're trying to figure it out.
We are going to talk about that.
But
But we're going to switch gears. We're going to go to the messy letter real quick. And then we're going to talk about, healing and mental health and all that stuff.
Absolutely.
Because, child, when I tell you people need it,
yes.
they need it.
Yeah. They need to be getting
Goodness.
some of my candles too.
Hello?
Yeah. And good evening. They're specially formulated.
Listen. And I
Aromatherapy.
keep telling you, y'all better get that oil.
And don't sleep on my topicals.
That
Do
oil.
not do it. You will regret that. You will regret
Because whatever
that.
you buying at TJ Maxx and Home Goods is not
it
going to be
ain't it ain't working. It ain't working.
And
Y'all, we got what 3 and it's not even 3.5. It's like 3 and 3/4 still left.
yes. Oh.
Y'all, gotta jump on it. Jump on it. All right.
So it is time for the messy letter. And of course, Auntie V, you're here. So we're gonna, need your expertise when it comes to this
okay.
messiness.
All
So
right.
the letter goes like this. I'm a 33-year-old woman who just started dating a 41-year-old man who has been separated since last August. He has been extremely intentional with me and very forthcoming about the fact that he sees a future with me going forward, and the pain and trauma of his 21-year marriage ending enables him to never repeat the same mistakes with me. He has a 9-year-old daughter with her. He has said about 10 years in the marriage, he went through a sex worker phase, which definitely made me almost run. But he promised that hasn't happened at all in 10 years, nor would he ever do that again or hurt me. Saying he didn't really love his ex-wife romantically, she pushed him into the marriage young and et cetera, things like that. He has been nothing but incredible to me, but it's only been about 2 months. Am I a complete fool for trusting this man? I believe him. Anytime I get insecure, he's been amazing about reassuring me and making me feel safe in us. He knows my intention is to be married eventually, and he promises he wants that with me too. I don't think he's a liar or player, and I know he really has not lived with her since last year or slept with her. What do you guys think?
I got that cat look like
A lot going on here.
it's a lot. That's a lot to unpack.
Yeah, it is.
That's a lot to
It is.
unpack. Okay. She's 33.
Mhm.
He's 44.
41.
41.
Mhm.
Okay. All right.
Mhm.
So what does she want to know? What is her question? Can she trust him?
I guess, can she trust him? What we're gonna, try to figure it out, because she said, what
Yeah.
should she do, or what do we think?
About
But
what?
should she trust him? Should she continue on with the relationship? Like, these are just things that I'm guessing.
Well, I mean, he hasn't given her any reason not to.
Mm-hmm.
So honestly, I think if she feels like it, yes, but she should. I mean, I don't think he's given her any reason to not trust him. It sounds like he's been very forthcoming
Mm-hmm.
about the issues that he's had.
Mm-hmm.
I would be a little guarded about it.
Thank you. Thank you, Auntie V. I was waiting for it. I'm like, now, Auntie V.
I'm a little guarded. You got me sitting up in my seat. I'm a little guarded about that.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
I would not be jumping into marriage.
No.
I would. She's young. I mean, take it slow, honey. I don't think a couple of months. A couple of months.
Yes.
I just don't know.
No.
I don't think you need, my personal opinion.
Yeah.
I just don't think you need to be jumping in.
No.
Into the deep end.
Exactly.
I don't think so.
No.
I just don't think I don't think that's wise.
Not at all. And Jess said, as soon as you said in the beginning of the letter, he wants to be married to her, told me he was giving her enough to string her along because girl, what? Yes.
Yes.
So there's a couple things. And, of course, Coach isn't here because he's probably like, you're being too mean or you're being too hard. But when a guy is separated.
You're protecting your peace, but go ahead.
Hello?
Go ahead, baby.
When a guy is separated and you have not completed that chapter, that's red flag number one. Because why are you over here? Go ahead and get your divorce. Make sure all of that over there is settled before you even consider dating, because there's still a lot going on here. There's still a lot of feelings. There's a child involved and things can get messy, so that's number one. Number two, you sitting here talking about, 10 years into the relationship, I had a sex worker phase. What exactly is that?
I'm assuming it's exactly what she said it was. I mean,
is this a common thing?
I'm assuming it's exactly what she said it was.
What the hell? Okay. And then you're blaming everything on her. I'm always very, very, leery of people who only blame one person in the relationship, because it's not all their fault. There's two people to a relationship.
Absolutely.
So at some point, you have done something to piss them off. They've done something to piss you off, and vice versa. But when he's saying things like, oh, she pressured me, she did this, and she. Okay, well, what did you do in this relationship? Because you loved her enough to have a kid with her.
Yeah, well, I'm assuming that this young lady knows, this young person understands that there's two sides. I'm assuming that she knows that.
I would hope so.
Yes.
Because some people fall into that trap of like, oh, she's just a bad person.
They were married for 21 years.
Exactly.
That's a long time. That's a long time.
You got a kid with this woman. So all wasn't bad.
No.
Because we know what we got to do in order to have a kid.
No.
So.
And he just said that at 10 years, he partaked in some sex workers. He did not say that. I mean, I hate to be, devil's advocate, but he didn't say he did. Did he say he didn't love his wife?
Well, he said he didn't really love her. He wasn't romantically involved with her. She pushed him into marriage young, and she said, et cetera, et cetera. So I don't know what else is included there. But it's just like, wait a minute, you were with this person for 21 years.
That's a long time.
A long time.
That's a long time.
And
I don't care. I just don't believe. I don't think anyone would believe that for 21 years, the two of you, for 10 of those years, you were just not engaged with her.
Right.
It's just, and you went to sex workers.
Right.
I just don't believe that.
I
don't believe that.
We got to talk about some things. And then also for her to say, I want to marry this man, or, you're wanting to get married, but you've only known him for 2 months.
That's what I say. I have to wonder about that too.
Yes. And I get it, because sometimes women, once they get their 30s and they start feeling that pressure, and it's like, if only you realize you have a lot more life to live,
Absolutely.
But you start feeling that pressure of like, oh, I need to be married, so you start doing stupid shit.
Okay. Okay.
Jay says male sex worker is gay. Girl, just walk away. No, she did not say that. Girl. And it said, how long did that phase last? Plus, it sounds like the kid came after the time he didn't love her. Good point.
Yeah.
Good point, Bean.
Yeah, right? Because don't you find that hard to believe? I do.
Yes.
I find a 10 years stretch or span.
Yes.
You're saying that, no, I didn't love her.
Yeah. And then after that, we have a 9-year-old together. So like Bean
I
said,
think that's the problem.
What's going on?
Yeah.
There's a lot of questions.
Yeah, there's a lot of question marks.
Yeah.
But what I can say, what I can say is that jumping into a man. I just like I said,
Ain't no way.
caution.
Yeah.
You know, you
And
need
after
to
2 months?
be like doing a red flag.
Yeah.
Over here, over here, over here. No,
2 months, my love. 2?
Yeah. that's
Goodness.
a lot. Yeah.
Bean said she might have thought that would keep him engaged in the relationship. That is another point too.
It's true.
That's another point
But
too.
do you? I mean, but with all that, do you really want him engaged in a relationship? I mean, why are you not cooling your jets? I mean, that's my question. Because if someone comes to you, I mean, don't give me full disclosure. You know, if they come to you and say, "Hey, you know, baby, this is all," I'm gonna put it out there for you. That's a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah,
It's a lot to deal with.
Because I would be like, "Oh, okay, yeah," and in my mind,
Yes.
backing it up.
Yes. Yes.
Backing it up.
What's going on?
I don't know what this is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because number one, like I said, anybody who has been separated should not, whoever is in their separation phase should not be dating. There's
Absolutely.
a lot for you to have to finish and accomplish. That chapter is still technically open because you're not divorced.
And that
You know?
chapter will always be open because they have a child together.
Exactly. You know, so to include somebody into that who is younger than you, you know, and who's willing to offer a little grace, because I don't see another woman who's in her 40s and or even latter 30s and up saying, well, fuck that shit. Close that chapter, get it together, figure out what's going on here.
And there may be a reason why he chose someone in the 30s.
Yes.
Early
Yes.
30s.
Exactly. Because that to me is insane.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, you know, personal story here. There was a guy that I was in a relationship with. He completely lied, told me he was divorced, but actually he was just separated. And I kept wondering why his wife was calling and asking for things. And I'm like, have y'all not had this conversation? Like, why is she still expecting you to do things? But it's like, I'm still in separation. So I'm trying to figure out what my new normal is now that you're no longer here. Plus we have children together, you know?
I'm telling you.
Yeah. So I'm like, wait, this A and B aren't equal in C. Then of course, later on the truth came out, but it's like, this is messy.
It's messy.
Because baby, you don't have any of that. Like you don't have any children. You don't have any, well, it doesn't say that you've been married before. It looks like you want to be married. But you don't have any ex-husbands. Yeah.
And that's another question.
Yes.
Why? Why do you, I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, you know, I loved marriage. I did it in my 20s though. But I loved it. But, you know, I just don't, why? Why are you just, because he's not out of the first one.
He's not.
So why? You know, because you're putting you're putting your stuff out there too. Oh, I want to get married.
Yes.
Because that's the end game.
Yes.
That's her end game.
Yes. And you truly think this guy is the one after 2 months?
Well, and and if he like I said, he has, number one, you're right. He hasn't been out of a relationship. He hasn't gotten out of that one. It was a 21-year relationship.
Yes. Yes.
He's in his 40s. I mean,
yeah.
You know, I just that sounds pretty suspect to me.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, if you were my homegirl, I would tell you to leave this alone.
I would.
You know, because like I said, dealing with anybody who's in a separation phase is always messy because you don't know exactly what the dynamic is of the relationship, or even if they're actually done with each other, or who might be jealous or who's upset. Next thing you know, the wife is rolling up on you and you got a whole other issue.
Yeah.
Don't put me in that.
You don't want some kind of problems.
No. And you don't have to have those type of problems because you're not coming to the table with those sort of problems. So I'm gonna need you. I know you're excited, you know, and I know marriage is something that you're wanting, baby.
Excited.
But let's go ahead and calm down, like you said, because your jets, they're blazing.
Yes, you need to pump the brakes on this.
Because 2 months, when people say things like the honeymoon phase, that's extremely real. Everybody is great in the first couple months when you're getting to know them.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I give him a year.
Yeah. Hello.
I'll give you a year.
You have a good damn time, don't you?
Have a wonderful time. I mean, you know, it's fun all the time. Yes, honey.
Blast.
Oh, yes.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Their best representative is showing up.
Loud
every
and proud.
time, honey. It's like, ooh, girl, you my yes.
This
you
is my
world.
guy. Yes.
Yes. This is my word. You are right. Absolutely. Let's do this, baby.
You're my world.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Yes.
Goodness.
I guess I'll give him a year.
Yeah. You know.
And then reality sets in.
Exactly. Exactly. And the other thing too is, how do you factor in the kid with this?
Yeah.
Do you want
Because they're
children?
9.
Yeah. Do you want to be a step parent? How is that relationship going to be with the mom of like, oh, I don't want her around my kids? I was like,
Because there's unresolved issues.
Yes.
There's just too much of it.
Yes.
No. My suggestion, I mean, don't get me wrong. I give him some points on him telling the truth, as he knows it.
Okay. Yeah.
Because there are two sides to each story. So as he knows it, see, I just think there's a ploy in that too. Because you know me, I'm like, what's the angle?
Yeah.
What you want?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we only 2 months in. Why I got to know all this?
Yeah. Right.
Why do I have to? I don't know if I even like you like that.
But I saw a video where, one guy was like, well, sometimes we try to put everything out there to see if the woman actually will stay or whatever have you.
No, well, you see, and I understand because she wants to get married.
Yes.
That's her end goal. That's what she wants. So that's what she's looking for. So I understand that. I understand her wants and her needs. And I think she's trying to do that. But I just think it's at a very, it's a pricey endeavor for her. I just don't think that, I don't know if she's willing to pay all that.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody should pay all that.
No, baby.
I just don't think so. I think you disturbing your peace. I just don't think you're.
Yeah.
I just don't think you should.
No, not at all.
I don't.
No, because like you said, now it's fun. Oh, he's attentive and he's listening.
Absolutely.
And, he's so open. We have great conversation.
If you're 40-something years old, you haven't gotten out of the other relationship.
Right.
You've got a 9-year-old child. And it doesn't sound like she has any of that.
No.
She doesn't have that kind of baggage.
Nope.
Yeah.
And if Coach was here, he would probably say what he said to me. He's nice, but he's too nice.
Yeah.
He's hiding something.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that's a lot of information to dump on somebody, and you've only known them for 8 weeks.
And then for you to make the ex-wife the issue. And like you said, even like Jay said, she's like, I'm still stuck on how we go from married to a sex worker. Like, did he just wake up one day and was like, I want to sell my part? That I would have.
Good question.
If you were invested enough, I would have to know what's going on. If you're invested enough. Now, if you're not invested in the relationship or him, well, listen.
In 8 weeks, how can you be? I'm sorry. How can you're not going to know somebody in 8 weeks?
No.
How can you be vested?
I don't know.
I don't get that.
No.
You should no.
Right.
You should never be doing that.
No.
You're not vested.
No.
Because that's like what y'all call love bombing.
Yes.
That's like you are just dumping it on them.
Exactly.
Like I said, it's always great. 8 weeks is going to be fabulous.
Oh my God. The best time.
The best time ever.
Oh my gosh. When I tell you.
Enjoy that. But don't be committing to.
No, girl.
No. If somebody dumps all that on you and you've only known each other for 2 months.
And that's when she says, he knows my intention is to be married eventually. And he promises he wants that with me too.
Of course he does.
Yes. I don't think he's a liar or a player.
Oh, I don't know about that one, love button. I can't give you that one. I can't give you that one.
And all she said is, I know he really has not lived with her since last year. Baby, I'm going to tell you one thing.
Please. How do you know?
Yeah, you don't know, and it doesn't mean a damn thing.
How do you know?
Exactly.
Tell me, how do you know?
Right. In 2 months.
Yeah. Tell me, how do you know? How do you know anything? You know what he told you.
And that's it. That is it, and that is all.
They're not divorced.
No.
Not that really matters.
No.
Because he can go visit. I mean, anytime he sees his child, he can go visit.
Exactly.
I'm just saying.
You got to be smarter than this.
Yeah.
You got to be smarter than this, because when you say things like, he has been nothing but incredible to me, but it's only been 2 months. So that right there is your intuition telling you, like, slow it down. Ease up. Because it's only been 2 months. People are, like you said, their representative is so amazing. Phenomenal. Some people can hold it up for a year. Some people a little bit shorter. But for those beginning stages, you are going to have a complete blast. It's going to seem like that is your person. Like you said, this is
honey,
my whole world.
Yes, honey. I'm calling. I'm texting when I get up in the morning. I'm like, boo. What you up to? Good morning. Good morning. At night. Yeah. I hope you have a good night's sleep. You know, with the little Z's.
Yes.
You know, the little happy little Z's going to sleep.
Exactly. So
I hope you're resting well, love. You know, those are good night texts. Mwah, mwah, mwah. You know,
spending all night
Here's
on the phone.
Oh yeah, honey. To one of you fall asleep on
Oh
it.
gosh.
Oh yeah.
You know, like it's amazing, girl.
Amazing. You can do everything with little sleep. Honey,
because they're on your
just
mind.
want to be with him. Just want to talk to him. Telling you, it's fabulous. I just want to talk to you, and only of course,
you.
baby. Yes, I'll sit on this phone all day.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
No, my battery's going down, but it's okay. Let me plug it up. I'm with you.
Exactly. So, girl, I get it.
I
promise
we've
you.
all been there.
We've all been there. We
We've
get it. But
all
at
been
some
there.
point, you wake up and realize that shit ain't enough.
It's not.
And it's temporary.
It
you
is.
know, it's temporary. And I mean, you run into your people who are just good people, you know, and do things because they do love you and they are interested in you and they want the best for you. And, you know, those things will happen and it won't be as consistent, but they will happen.
But, you know, it'll be a slow burn.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's what, you know, passion is hot and heavy and it's, you know, it's lust and it's great, you know, but when someone, he would have been better. I don't know. I feel that he would be more genuine if if he took his time. If he, you know, number one, he shouldn't be dating if he hasn't figured out his prior life situation. I think that in and of itself needs to be considered because you're trying to involve someone else in a relationship. And I don't believe that's being considerate.
It's not. And that's a good
I don't believe
point.
that's being considerate.
That's a really good point to make because while you're sitting here saying he's amazing, he's this and that, any guy that really cares about you is not going to put you through all of this.
You know, he's just not.
No.
You know, if nothing else, even if he tells you all that, you know, he 9 times out of 10 he'd be honest enough. If I believe that if he's a really stand-up guy, he's like, you know what, I can't get you now,
right?
Because I got to take care of this.
Exactly.
You know,
exactly.
But maybe after this is all resolved,
we can revisit this.
Yeah. You know, would it be okay if maybe I see you after this is done?
Exactly.
You know, would that be all right with you? Because you're asking permission. And, you know, instead of telling, so saying, oh yeah, you know, but because she said what she wanted.
Yes.
She's like, I want to get married.
Yes.
I want, you know, but to me, if you're going to be respectful of her and you truly have some feelings for her, then be considerate of that.
Yes.
Be considerate of her.
Yes.
And say, hey, you know what, babe, this is great. You're amazing. I got to take care of this first.
Yeah.
Come back.
Right.
And if you're still available, let's talk about it.
Let's talk.
Yeah. But I gotta take care of this first.
I have to.
And like I said, once all this is taken care of and this is resolved, you know, is it okay if I circle back around?
Exactly.
And how, you know, if you're still open to it, then can I come see you? Can I visit? Can we revisit this conversation?
Period.
Because I really do like you.
Exactly.
You know?
And then you just go date.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And if that's your person, then somehow, some way, you two will meet up again. And if it's not your person, you will find your person.
Absolutely.
By putting yourself out there.
But he's a stand-up person. He'll be a stand-up guy.
Exactly.
You know, if he does, he's like, you know, you are amazing. You are amazing.
One of a kind.
I really do like you. You know, but you know, girl, I put it all out there. I got to tell you this, and I got to take care of this,
right?
Because you are so amazing that you deserve all of this relationship,
all of this.
Yeah, but I've got to take care of this first, babe.
And I don't want to put you through any of this
because I care about you.
Yes,
so I got to do this first.
Exactly.
I don't know how long this is going to take.
Exactly,
but I've got to complete this first because I can't give myself to you.
There's no way.
I can't give you what you need.
Exactly.
because I'm over here.
And then you're still having to deal with the dynamics of how the child may feel with the divorce and the separation and things
that's
like
all,
that.
That's all encompassing.
Yes.
I've got to take care
I
of
got to
this
deal
first.
with this. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, because the other thing is then you'll possibly deal with, because I don't know if you have you watched the show 4 Seasons on Netflix yet?
Yes.
I love it.
I know.
Oh my gosh. I
Yes.
love it. It's such a good depiction of marriage and growing old together and trying to relearn each other.
Absolutely. I love that.
If y'all have not watched it, it's a very, very good show. Coleman Domingo is in it. Tina Fey is in it. I love Coleman.
Oh my gosh. I love him. I watch everything that man does. He is just fabulous.
Listen.
And he got a little tasty treat at home too.
No.
He has got a tasty treat at home.
They're just so cute.
They're adorable.
I'm here for them. I'm here for their love.
I am too. Because it's cute.
It is.
It is.
But it's such the show, like it says on Netflix, very short. The episodes are like 30, 35 minutes long. Oh, and Steve Carell is in it as well.
Oh, I know. I hate with that.
I know.
I hate the end of that.
But
anyway.
it's such a good show. Like
it
for
is.
people who don't really quite understand the dynamics of marriage or anything like that, it's such a good lens and it's so eye-opening. And it has of course the comic relief to it as they're trying to figure things out and not being on the same page and all of that. But it's just like, girl, like marriage is a lot. And this man, I'm pretty sure, has been through a lot in these 21 years. So for you to think that he's going to go from one to another, first of all, if he does, that's irresponsible on his part. And why would you want that?
Yeah.
Like you said, this over here is going to take a lot.
Yeah.
It's going to take time.
Yes. And that's what, and if he was going to be, if he cares about you, he's going to be that open, be open enough to say, baby girl, I got to do this first. Yeah. Tell her. Yeah. I understand what you told me what you want.
Exactly.
I can't do that right now.
Yes.
Because I got to do this first.
Right.
But you are amazing.
You're amazing.
You are
doing amazing, sweetie.
You are amazing.
Yes.
I got to let me take care of this.
Yes.
And hopefully if you're still available and I come back around, we'll see if we can be amazing together.
Hello. And we can continue having the fun that we were having.
We can continue that.
Because this shit's going to be temporary if I don't handle this.
Continue to be amazing. But until that time, baby girl, let me take care of this first.
Yes.
See, that's what real men do.
Exactly.
I'm sorry.
That's what they do. 100%. And then I'm not sure if she even has, a male figure in her life to kind of whisper in her ear, like, nah.
Yeah.
Nah, don't do this.
Yeah. If he was that amazing for you, he would handle his business first.
Period.
Yeah.
And that was the point I was getting to with 4 Seasons, because
I know
things were a little tumultuous, of how he handled, not wanting to continue his marriage. He wanted a divorce and, with his wife. But the daughter, even though she's in college, she's old enough now, it was still that residual of, you left mom. You're the bad guy. And then now you're flaunting your new woman in front of me and I don't want to deal with her. And then now the new woman is catching the smoke when it's just like, I'm just here. Like, we're a thing and I don't have a dog in the fight, but there's still a lot that has not been handled in y'all family dynamic. And now you're inserting another person into it. So what do you think is going to happen with this man, his ex-wife, and a 9-year-old?
Yeah. It's messy.
It's going to be so
very messy.
So I can tell you right now, baby, this is not the one right now. Maybe later on. Who knows?
Who knows?
But right now, no, you're only 33. Go date, go have fun, go travel, go have flings. Just enjoy yourself.
Because this is a fling, honey.
Right?
Because he has not completed his business.
No.
This is a fling, baby girl.
Yes. And at this age, with someone who doesn't have any children and no ex-husband, you don't have time for drama.
Yes. Young person, please. Stop. No.
You don't
enjoy this 8 weeks for what it was and what it is.
And go about your way. Go about your way, baby.
Yeah. Let him handle his business.
Ain't no way. Ain't no way. So as a older sis to you, I'm going to tell you, leave this man alone. Like I said, the 2 months have been great for you because he's trying to overcompensate for the mess that he currently has and that he is not fixing. So
you're a nice distraction.
Yeah. So it's just, he just trying to, like you said, be distracted because there's a lot of shit going on here.
Yeah.
So have fun with it, but leave this man alone. This is not somebody that you continue to have in your phone.
Not right now.
Like not right now. Not right now.
Mm-mm.
And Jay, what did you say? Because the sex worker thing really got you upset. He said, so he just told her willingly he was a sex worker, or was she or someone she knows was a cousin? Well, no, he was sleeping with sex workers.
He was sleeping with sex workers.
He wasn't the sex worker. He was partaking in their
he said.
In their work.
Allegedly.
Exactly.
Allegedly.
So
allegedly.
Like I said, there's a lot to that.
Yeah.
Just in that little tidbit of information.
It was a lot. It was a lot. There's a lot going on there.
Yes. Because I got questions. Have you been tested? Like what's going on? Was everybody safe? What did your wife think when this happened? Yeah. A lot.
That will not be answered.
Exactly. And then also on top of that, it's not your problem and you shouldn't care
really
because this
isn't.
should not be something serious.
Yeah,
so
it's not your problem.
Once he said that, once he said that he was separated, you lost me.
Yeah.
I shut down immediately. No, immediately. Nope.
Immediately.
I don't want to see that. And I mean, you guys have seen that on Nightmare Dating Profiles where people are, still in relationships or separated. There's too much there to be, like you said, don't let nobody fuck with your peace.
Don't. No. There's just too much more stuff out there to mess with it day in and day out.
No, please.
Don't add to it.
No.
Do not add to it.
No.
Because no, I don't believe anyone that truly cares about you, they're not trying to add stuff on your plate.
No.
They're not trying to.
No,
not
at all.
They're not trying to do that.
He, like you said, he would have taken care of what he needs to take care of. He would not have bothered you.
Absolutely.
And the guys that I know, like you said, that are stand-up guys will take time to get themselves together because they know I can't give you what you need.
No,
I can't. I can sleep with you.
Yeah.
But I can't.
And and if they, like I said, if they truly care about you, they're like, I cannot do this to you.
Right.
I cannot in good conscience do this to you.
No.
Yeah. I mean, that's the world I roll in.
So little sis, leave it alone. You've heard from Big Sis and Auntie V.
Yeah.
This is not a good look. It's a fling. You have fun, but you'll have fun with another guy, especially in 2 months. You're gonna have a lot of fun when you're dating. So just date. Enjoy yourself, find out what makes you happy, and travel, and just enjoy you and realize what it's like to have absolute peace in your life. Because I promise you, once you reach that state, a guy like this, you're not even going to want to talk to. You're not going to entertain him at all.
You have to be you. Yeah. And this is, this is just the process. She's just getting to know herself.
Exactly.
That's all.
Exactly.
That's all.
So baby.
Yeah. Chalk it up to experience.
Exactly. It was fun. Let it go.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let that go. Oh, girl, we're just solving people's peace of mind. Look at us.
One gummy at a time.
And one messy letter at a time. One gummy, one messy letter. There it is. Combined.
And speaking of gummies, because like I said, it's Mental Health Awareness Month.
It is.
And I really want people to be mindful and to start taking care of their mental health. And I know it's easier said than done.
It is.
Because there's a lot that is influencing you on the day-to-day with social media. And depending on how your algorithm is set, that could either be really good or really bad. And it can feed into, certain things that will just have you spiraling.
Oh, absolutely. When you see it. You see, people are spiraling.
Yes.
Uncontrollably.
Yes.
Uncontrollably.
And not to mention, the whole thing with Diddy and Cassie. And then, we're revisiting Tory Lanez and Megan, and then we have, oh my gosh, what's the other thing? I can't think of it. But mainly, the whole Diddy trial where, feelings are involved. People are feeling all sorts of way. A lot of women who have been sexually assaulted or who have been in domestic violence situations, it's opening up some of these wounds.
Triggers.
And it's triggered.
The whole case, the whole trial has been a trigger.
Literally.
From day one.
Yes. And then, you have some people who just aren't sympathetic to it and don't really understand, how people might feel when they're hearing these certain things because they kind of identify with Cassie in this moment, and it's tough. It's extremely tough. Because we all have triggers. Like we can sit here and try to act like, oh, I don't have triggers. No, we all have triggers. Something's going to set you off.
Absolutely.
Either knowingly or unknowingly. And it's just heavy. It's a lot.
It's a lot.
So
You do, and you have to tune a lot of this out.
You do.
I know that my personal part of, I mean, there's a lot of things that I do to keep my peace, but if I listen to news, it's going to be the first 15 minutes.
Oh,
First 15 minutes.
you're so good.
First 15 minutes.
They get a whole hour from me, girl.
I can't because that is heavy. Because there's just nothing positive. And that's a lot.
It is a lot
to have enter your psyche all day long. Because depending on what your life is, you know, and what the stressors in your life, you could have had an incredibly stressful day.
Yes.
And then, you know, you go home to look at news. And you know, and then it's more. That's why your evening news is only 30 minutes. That's why it's only 30 minutes. Have you thought about it or no? Yeah, that's why your evening national news is 30 minutes. There's a reason why it's only 30 minutes. But number one, because that's the attention span of most adults is about that. But number two, because you know your psyche cannot handle that day in, day out. And if you notice, usually at the end of the national news, they'll do like a lighthearted kind of, you know,
a feel-good story.
Feel-good story. That's why. Because that'll keep you coming back.
Yes.
That'll keep you coming back.
Yeah.
Because you'll end on a good note.
Absolutely.
And lift your mood.
Yeah.
Because
Absolutely.
I've slammed you with 20 minutes.
Oh my God.
Just, you know, because it's about 5 minutes of commercials, but 20 minutes
of
of just inundating you.
Yes.
With just negative stuff.
Yes.
I want you to care about it.
Exactly.
But I can't, you know, I can't bombard you like that and want and expect for you to care about it.
Right.
Because you'll just be overwhelmed with it.
Exactly.
So there's a logic to that. You know that. There's a logic to, you know, how you set up a program.
Absolutely.
And so that's why I only do 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Because I know that's all they want me to do. Is 15
Exactly.
That's really all they want me to do.
You know, that typically is just running in the background for me. But like you said, you're still paying attention.
You know, your brain, your brain and your body, it all reacts to that.
It does.
It does.
Because it's like, God damn it, here we go.
Well, yeah, that is why I say, you know, get a routine when you come in. When you get home, you have got to start unplugging because your mind needs rest.
Yes.
Your mind needs rest because it's going to get up and do it all over again the next day.
All over again.
And unless you give yourself some tools to reset, you're not going to make it.
No.
You're not going to make these next 4 years.
No.
Or 3 3/4.
Exactly.
It's not.
Exactly.
You're not going to. I know it feels like we've been doing this for years, but we haven't.
No, we have a long way to go.
Yeah, we're just coming up on 6 months.
Exactly.
Well, not really even 6 months unless we come June 20th. I mean, with 21st. But I mean, that's So we're coming up on 6 months. But already it feels like you've been doing this for
a very long time. Because even when you think about the preparation before we got to this moment of what we've had to deal with, the arguments that have had, the you know racism that has coming out, the bigotry, you know the misogyny that has come out. It's been a lot. And I know people are exhausted. I know they are. And I know that Black women are exhausted. I'm exhausted. You know, because because every time you turn around at something, what the hell now? What now?
Yes. Yes. Which is why, you know, your mental health is so important.
It's so
You've got to keep your peace.
Yes.
You've got to. You've got to. Which is why, you know, the gummies are important. Yeah, because we do have a buy one get one free this month, y'all, until the end of the month.
Just add the gummies to your cart and then you know hit the little promo thing and it'll apply it immediately.
That's why. Do not eat the whole freaking pack.
Please don't.
Okay, please don't do that.
Please don't do that.
Okay, don't do that. You know the drops. Please don't put the whole thing in your drink.
Please don't.
At one time. Please don't do that.
Goodness.
Please don't do that.
No, only a couple drops. Like you said, a little dab will do you.
It really will. It really will. It's really what this is microdosing. Let's just call it what it is.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Not on the THC microdosing. And I want to emphasize that. Okay. Not that. not that. But we've always been very clear that with our suggested recommendations, I've always been clear that, with daily use, you need to what we always call a holiday. You need to, if you're doing it chronically all day, every day.
Yes.
Then you should take what we call a holiday.
Mm-hmm.
And especially now with them trying to enforce
Yes.
some of this stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the one thing that I will say to you guys is it's really, you have to start relying on your community. You have to find a community, and it's time for people to make it a regular thing. Be very consistent with finding your people who make you feel good, who allow you to laugh, who hold space for you, who allow you to cry if you need to, non-judgmental. You need to find your safe space, and it can't be by yourself, because that's the one thing I want people to realize. We spent a lot of time by ourselves with this whole COVID thing. We have got to find our community, and we have got to start building relationships again, because that's the only way we're going to get through this.
And join our Healy community.
Hello.
Yes, join our Healy community.
Hello.
Because that's what we do. It's about uplifting and helping us.
And you know what? Jay made a good point. She said, also, you can use the story to show your gummies aren't like others out here where it puts people in the hospital.
No, because he should have been under the hospital. He should have been under the hospital. Bless his little heart.
Right.
I was like, little dude, what are you doing?
Good. And some of these gummies, I took one and I thought I was dying. So, for him to have taken that, and he's like, I still felt good.
He felt that. Like I said, he repurchased.
Yes.
He felt marvelous.
We don't want you to do that. However, it's a testament to the simple fact that what you're taking is safe.
He was not. Yeah. He felt. He was like, I feel good. Well, I didn't think it'd do nothing.
No paranoia, none of that.
No. Felt fabulous. Like I said, came back to buy more. I just want to let you know this was fabulous.
But like we said,
he was driving around. He was feeling good.
Yes, I'm driving around.
Yeah, he was like driving. He was driving around. He said, he was running errands. Felt
that
like he was
on cloud nine.
He said I felt good. He said, which made me purchase some more. But I was like, okay, so you cannot eat all of these.
No.
Because the Delta 8 or 15, let's say he did 10, which is 150 milligrams, 150 milligrams of CBD plus the 0 point, mine is 0 point, less than 0.2. It's around 0.2, which is naturally occurring THC in the plant. So body weight, like I said, that would be calculating it out, but I'd have to do a whole calculation thing, y'all. Which you can get if you have a consultation with me. We can go through all this and do all the calculating specifically for you.
Exactly.
So that you can fly low under the radar.
Hello,
with my stuff.
You're going to need it. We're all going to need it. And the one thing also is I don't want people to feel ashamed for needing something a little bit extra.
No.
So reaching out to Auntie V, getting the gummies, the drops, whatever, do what makes you feel good. Safe. Be safe about it. But do what makes you feel good, because it's going to be a long 3.5 years.
Well, this is you holding your peace.
Yeah.
This is you keeping your peace and finding your peace.
And even just your day to day, because we're not even going to blame it all on politics, because day to day is just fucking exhausting.
Yeah. Because theoretically you can tune that out.
Yes.
Yeah. Don't go on social media.
Exactly.
Don't look at the news.
Yeah.
It's okay. I take social media holidays all the time.
Hello.
Yeah.
And the one thing I want you guys to know too, there are literal bots and people who are doing things specifically just to incite rage. They're wanting to make you feel a certain type of way, to keep you scrolling, to keep you engaged, to keep you commenting. So don't feed into that.
No.
Number one,
No.
protect your peace. And then two, change your algorithm to things that make you feel good. Like my algorithm right now is nail designs, Black people dancing, hair, makeup, so change your algorithm to where it is conducive to your mental health.
Absolutely. I will with true confession, there's these two little cute puppies that I guess their owner cooks, and the little puppies are like watching her cook like all these puppy treats, and it's just
feel
cracks
good,
me up.
yeah.
Yeah, it's feel good. Those two little puppies, just crack me up.
And that's what you need.
Yeah.
We need more of that. And then even with your programming, like with Netflix and stuff like that, feel good shows. Like I said, 4 Seasons is a really good show.
It is.
You'll get laughs, you'll, shed a tear, whatever, but it's lighthearted enough to where you're just like, oh, I just got right through it. I love Love on the Spectrum. I don't know if you ever watched that.
I have seen it, yes.
I love that show.
Because you have to. You have to have some feel good stuff.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Don't be afraid to have a comfort show. You know, my comfort show's Family Guy. It makes me laugh. You know, so find your comfort show, find something that's going to take you away for a moment and just, you
have to have mind candy.
Yeah.
That's what I call it. I call it just mind candy. Yeah, it's mind candy.
We're going to steal that.
Okay.
I'll credit you.
Yeah, okay, baby. Thank you. Yes. But that's what it is. Yeah, that's what I call it. It's just mind candy.
Yeah.
It's just you can completely just cut it all off. It'll make you laugh. I go back to like old shows. Oh, Fridays. Do you remember?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Cracks me up.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'll go like old school. Really will.
Yes.
We'll go old school.
Yes.
Because the father who's like does the dog catching stuff.
Yeah.
Just silly. Some silly stuff.
Yes.
Some silly ass. To me, that's mind candy.
Exactly.
Because I don't have to think about it.
Nope.
I don't have to do nothing. I can chill.
Exactly.
Because yes, I do use my own products, people.
Hello.
Yeah, I do. Oh yeah. I do whatever. Yes, honey.
Yes.
And I'm like, okay, it's time to
Bring it down.
bring it down.
Mm-hmm.
And yes. And because you're getting ready to go to bed, whatever, and you go back. Oh, and you stop and you go, oh my God, I remember this. This is so let me sit down for a second and look at this.
And just laugh.
And just laugh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do it all the time. Do it every night, as a matter of fact. I do.
And I like I said, I love that. So like I said, find your community and then also go travel. That's something that I tell Coach all the time because I know he's like from listening to the news, he's nervous, like, oh, the planes. And also I said, while we've had this conversation, hundreds of planes have landed and taken off safely.
Yeah.
So it's like, I get it. However, I've been on a plane, I don't know how many times this year, and you see, I'm still here. Not to say it can't happen, but don't get caught up in that. Go live your life. Do what makes you happy. Go touch grass, put your feet in the sand, get in the water, just do things that allow you to disconnect and enjoy your life, what makes you smile. Do more of that.
Because you only have one of it.
Hello.
You do. You only got one.
Hello.
And you don't know how long it's going to last.
Exactly.
You don't.
So that's our word of advice to you. Go get your gummies.
Yes. And thehealingconsultant.com.
If you want a good mixture, get your drops and the gummies.
Ooh, sweet baby.
See, that's what he should have did instead of taking the whole damn bag.
I do not know, but I had to do a PSA.
Yes.
Because I'm like, y'all are not,
what's going on?
What y'all doing?
Yeah.
I understand it's tough for people out there, but don't do that.
No. Like I said,
because that may get you over your 0.3%.
Exactly.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Now you're looking crazy and you want to blame somebody. Don't come
but
over
you're
here
feeling
and
good.
bullshit. You're feeling great. You're not paranoid. And you're not in the hospital.
Wasn't. And I was like, oh my God, you did what? He said felt fabulous. He was like, I feel good. Driving around, having a good time, went to the grocery store. I mean, like living his life.
His best life. That man was on cloud.
Living his best life.
So don't do that. But
don't do that.
Go and get your gummies, BOGO, on the website. Like I said, you add one pack and then it'll automatically apply. You just have to, hit the promo code there. And like I said, if you want a little razzle dazzle, go ahead and get your drops as well.
Oh, yeah.
Take a couple of drops in your morning tea, coffee, water, whatever you drink. A couple drops, pop a gummy, and it'll be smooth sailing.
Really, yes. Because that's not, that's under the limit.
Yeah.
But
that was crazy.
Don't be out here living crazy, y'all.
No.
Because as we said, we all got jobs.
And anybody got time to be fired. Not in this economy.
We all got jobs.
Not in this economy.
No.
No.
And if you need further advice, honey, hit me up. I have consultations.
Hello.
Yes.
Where can they find you at?
Thehealingconsultant.com.
Hello.
Honey, all my social media.
Mhm.
You know, the Healing CBD, Auntie V on
Mhm.
TikTok, Auntie V CBD on TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, what else am I missing? Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Healing Consultant.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm trying to think. Is that all of them?
And if you
Y'all
ever want to play back of any of the episodes, then go to the Healing Consultant YouTube.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, for your information.
Hello.
Because we're here.
All right, y'all. So we will see you guys. And well, Auntie V will see you guys in 2 weeks.
Yes.
And until that time, take care of yourself.
Be well.
Yes. All right, guys. Have a wonderful week. And don't let nobody stress you out.
Bye.
Bye.
Say no.